Pay attention. I'm finna walk you through how to grow barber clientele from zero, meaning straight out of barber school with no clientele at all. You just want to find you a shop that's in a high traffic area, meaning a lot of foot traffic, a lot of car traffic, just a booming location, because that means it'll be a lot more people and a lot more chances of you getting clientele to come in the barber shop. And look at it like this. The higher foot traffic is coming in, the higher the chances of you building clientele rapidly. And on the flip side, the lower the traffic is, the longer it will take for you to build clientele. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to focus on quality haircuts and conversation. So you just want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can with the skill level that you have. So, you don't want to take too long on haircuts, but if it takes you longer for you to get the job done, then you do so. But the reason why you want to do the conversation part is because, people, once you build a rapport with people, they feel connected to you in a different type of way versus you just cutting their hair and getting them out the chair. Granted, the people that are conversationalists. So if they not a conversationalist, then that's fine. But if they like to conversate, give them feedback, talk to them, have a, whatever your style of that would be. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to give your contact information and you want to get their contact information, meaning their phone number. If you want email, social media, and all of that is a way for you to, it's just a way for you to have access to them once they leave you. So you want to make sure, once you get finished, you let them know, hey, give me a call, or here's my number, however you want to go about doing it. And as well, you want to get their information and say, hey, I just want to, make sure we connected on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you use, LinkedIn, whatever you use, or they use, you just want to exchange information so that you can keep up with them. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to create word of mouth. So the first and most important way that you create word of mouth is by giving quality haircuts, and good service as well. So, that means when people see their haircut, they're like, hey, who cut your hair? Or, them bragging about your work. So that's what you want. You wanna generate word of mouth, in the community, in the area, in the city. Tries to wherever you're trying to go with it, you want to do that. The next way you can do that is you can take the pictures on the phone and put them on your social media, and that's a form of advertisement, be it picture, video, whatever you do. You can even go live. The other way you can advertise is by getting business cards. Vista Print has them. I'm not sure the exact amount for the quantity that you can get, but they're cheap for quality cards. But you can also go to a local person that do business cards or graphic designs. Oh, and I did this too with my shop. I did direct mail with USPS. So you can target whatever street that's in your area, and you can buy postcards from Vistaprint, take them to the post office, and that's a form of advertising too. And I also gain customers from there too in the local area where I'm at. Now, another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a consistent work schedule. That's one of the most important things that you want to do when you first starting off. Now, you want to set the time that you want to work and the days that you want to work, and you want to stick to that consistently. No ifs, ands, or buts, because when you first starting off, time is of the essence. So you don't want to be there. You caught a customer on a Tuesday, and then next Tuesday you're not there, or the next time that they come, you're not there. So you want to create a work schedule, stick to it religiously. Because when I first started, what I did was I worked 7 days a week. I worked from like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I think it was 7 in the morning to like 10 o'clock at night. 7 days a week. So, just come up with a consistent schedule, because you will learn this. You will come to find out most people, they have a hard time with barbers sticking to a schedule. And also, you don't have to worry about this as much once you're established. You can, like I said, you'll have contact information, or people have your contact information. So once you're the consistent barber, then communication comes in where you can go around the schedule if something comes up or if you got something to do. But when you first starting off, it's imperative that you create a regimen of people coming in, seeing you, getting service from you, and so on and so forth. Now, another thing you want to do is, it's going to sound counterproductive, but it's serious. You want to attract customers and not chase customers. And what I mean by that is, if somebody's outside the shop or inside the shop, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to come off as thirsty and needy, because human nature is trained to kind of go against it. To be honest, when I first started off, I just let people come to me, because I saw people in the shop being aggressive and it was turning them away. And a lot of times that's what made people come to me, was because I was kind of indifferent about it. I was coming off like I didn't really care. So you kind of have to go in it with a mentality of, I don't care whether you get your hair cut by me or not. As counterproductive as that sounds, because you're starting off. But when you kind of show that confidence about yourself, it makes people intrigued, like, oh, okay, let me get my hair cut by, let me see what he's talking about. But you want to attract customers. You don't want to chase customers, because when you attract them, they're coming to you. But when you chase them, you're going to run them away. Some people, they don't mind it, but I mean, just the majority of people, just from my experience, they don't like when people are pushy. They don't want to feel like they're forced to sit in a chair that they don't want to sit in. So, in my opinion, you will get further, saying your piece, but, kind of being like, giving off like, I don't really care whether you do or not type of energy. Not just like, hey man, come on, sit down. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Now, another thing that's important is you want to network. And, you want to just basically, if you at a grocery, wherever you go, grocery store, beauty supply store, schools, wherever you go, where it's people at, network. If there's something about you, if you outgoing like that, when you meet people, women, you see women with children, give them a call, say, hey, I'll take care of your kids. Women who have husbands. And also, if you just having regular conversations with people, bring it up. It go back to that word of mouth. So, networking, just wherever you at, make what you do known in a smooth way. Again, not an aggressive way, but in a smooth way. Let people know, hey, I cut hair. Now, the next thing you want to do, and it's super important, is you want to value people's time. Not like your time is not important, but, what I mean by that is, when you first starting off, don't take long, don't procrastinate. Okay, now these are ways you can waste people's time. You could be talking while you cutting their hair, and then you stop cutting their hair. People don't like that. So that means you have to multitask. And, if you're not good at multitasking, that's something that you'll have to work on, because people don't really like that. That's wasting people's time. If you cutting their hair and you on the phone, you want to keep cutting their hair while you having a conversation on the phone. Or if you're talking to them in the chair, you don't want to stop doing what you're doing to engage in conversation. You got to be able to chew gum and walk at the same time. And just make sure that time is of the essence when you first starting off. When somebody is giving you a shot, like, don't drag your feet. Be sharp with it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, now the last thing that you want to make sure that you do is, but it's one of the most important as well, is you want to be patient. Because if you do everything that I tell you to do, and they not in no specific order, but if you incorporate them all into one, then it should take you anywhere from 6 months to a year for you to build consistent clientele. Because like this guy told me, he had been cutting hair for 30 years. That was the first shop I worked at. And what he told me was, you don't make money off of business. You make money off repeat business. So that takes time. It's a gradual process. So don't get discouraged. Okay, now this is something that's a bonus. Even though this has absolutely nothing to do with growing your clientele, but you do want to take into consideration whether you want to do booth rent or you want to do commission. Now, with booth rent, of course, you pay weekly, right? Whatever that rate is, wherever you are. But and that's cool if you can afford it, right? But some people kind of take commission off the table because you're getting a percentage instead of the whole thing. But one thing you always kind of look at is, do you want 100% of nothing or a percentage of something? Because you may you know, with booth rent, it's a flat rate, but you may not be making any money where you are. If you are, that's cool. I'm just giving an example on, that these are things that you have to consider. Because when I first started in that guy's shop I was telling you about, I was giving booth rent, but he was established. It was another barber there that was established, but I wasn't established. So they had to give me people, and that's like a hand to mouth type of situation. But when I went to a mall, they charged me 40% commission, but I built my clientele like that. So, for every $100 you made, you had to give up $40. But I would take that, me personally, business wise, that worked for me. So I'm just saying, like, don't rule out commission. And if the shop that you at, if you really like that shop, then I would even bring that up to them as an option. If you feel like you maybe can't pay the booth rent consistently, or whatever the situation is, if it's just like a problem in the beginning, say, hey, I can do commission. But yeah, anyway, just make sure you incorporate all those things. They not in no specific order. Incorporate all those things into your beginner journey as a barber, and I guarantee you gonna succeed. Love.